It's required that people willingly forfeit their Fourth Amendment to come in, be searched, to be able to get access, right?
Yep.
That's what I thought. I think I've come to the conclusion I'm definitely not going to get through here without being searched or hurt.
Well, I don't think we're going to hurt you.
Well, I mean, if I refuse to go through there and just walk through, you would surely stop me. And the only way you could do that would be by putting hands on somebody.
Well, that's not too bad.
And I guess...
You seem like a nice guy.
And I guess, well, I'm sure you wouldn't. And I guess me getting hurt would be depending on how much I'd be willing to resist. You know.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would hope. Come on. We were rivals in high school, but we don't have to be rivals now. Come on.
Well,
just put any metal or electronics in here for me.
yeah, I don't think I'm gonna.
Oh, come on.
I don't want to go through that thing.
Okay.
So I was kind of gonna stand out here and document for a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe I might later,
Sounds good.
but I don't have no interest in surrendering my Fourth Amendment of being searched to come into a public place.
Okay.
Surely you could understand that, right?
Well, it's just required here that everything, like any metals or whatever.
Right, I know. It's required that people willingly forfeit their Fourth Amendment to come in, be searched, to be able to get access, right?
Yep.
That's what I thought. Today, I'm not willing to forfeit.
Okay.
So today I choose to stand out here and document.
Sounds good.
Unless you guys are willing to let me stay secure in my Fourth Amendment and go around the magnetic detector and just go handle my business.
It's just made sure that you don't have any weapons or anything, so
Right,
that's why
right,
it's a
right.
requirement.
Well, I'm sure. Is it illegal to have weapons?
Yeah, it's illegal to have weapons in here.
All right. Where's the law that says that?
It just has it posted out here. No weapons, no alcohol, drugs, and it's a weapon.
Is there a statute attached to this sign?
No, not that one. There should be one over here. There's one. Yeah, right here.
With a statute attached to it?
State 50th with the judge sign. I don't know. Security policy for court facilities. So that's just what we go by.
Right, but constitutionally we have the right to be secure in our persons, papers, effects, our identification, right? Without illegal search or seizure.
Oh, I'm not searching.
Right, well, this is a search. If I have to take everything out of my pockets and go through a metal detector, you're searching me, right? I mean, search doesn't necessarily have to be hands-on, does it?
I guess not.
I don't think it does. I could be wrong though.
Well, we just want to make sure you don't have any weapons on your person.
Well, I don't have weapons. Yeah, no weapons.
Well, that's just by going what you're saying.
Right,
so.
right. People lie. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Cops do it all the time. So you guys won't let me come in?
No.
No.
Not unless you put any like metals or electronics in here.
Right. Who set this rule of? Because I seem to. I'm old enough to remember a time where you could walk into a courthouse
I know.
and there was no metal detectors.
Right. With how
And then
everything's just been going lately.
This day and age,
Yeah. We just want to make sure everyone stays safe.
Ever since September, you know what I mean? September 9, 9/11.
No, I think
It
it was placed after that. I don't
Well,
know.
that's what I'm saying. Ever since then, you see a lot of these in these places.
Okay.
Before that, you didn't
Okay.
rarely ever see them. You know what I'm saying?
Hi. Good. How are you?
How are you? Good. Got your new key card system in it.
Yeah. I'm not sure how that's gonna work though.
Can I show you something?
Okay.
I can find it. Some reading material.
Okay.
I remember what pocket I put it in. This is a pocket constitution.
Okay.
See this?
Very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat actually. Where are we at here? So many rights we have. It's so hard to keep track of them all. See this? This is this right here is the Fourth Amendment, right? You think I could get you to read that? You don't have to read it out loud by any means. But if you'd read it, I'd appreciate that.
Okay. Yep.
So you see how this would be a violation of our rights possibly? Or it'd be a violation if you forced me to go through it.
Right, yeah, I'm not making you go through it.
Right. So it's not a violation if I willingly go through it. But if I don't willingly go through it, I don't have access to public areas.
Right.
You see the conundrum?
Well, if you had like any medical issues and stuff like that, we don't.
Well, yeah, if I had a pacemaker or something,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
Right, but I have the right not to be searched without being suspected of a crime or without a warrant.
I guess not in this building or the courthouse.
So constitutional rights don't apply here then?
Constitutional right of what, sir?
Right to be
saying-
secure in my persons, papers, and effects, Fourth Amendment. So I'd have to forfeit my Fourth Amendment, right?
Well, I'm not searching you.
Well, that's, well,
It's
yeah,
just metals or electronics,
right?
just so you can go through.
Well, I personally don't want you to know what I have on me.
Okay.
I have that right, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fine.
So what would happen if I chose just to go around and ignore you and go do what I wanted?
I'd probably ask you to leave the building.
All right. Not that I'm just going to do that, you know what I mean? I want to be clear on that. So what would happen if you asked me to leave and I respectfully declined your request?
In here?
Yeah. 'Cause, I mean, you can ask people to do whatever that you want.
Yeah.
You could ask me for $20, but you couldn't force me under the color of law to give you said $20.
Right. Well, I'd probably have you escorted out then.
Okay. So you guys would put hands on me if I wasn't willingly to vacate at that point?
No, we would just we would ask you to leave the building.
Right.
And then,
Well, he's saying if he declined.
If you can request
Oh, I
whatever
didn't hear
you,
you. I'm sorry.
right, you can request whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can respectfully decline said request.
Okay.
Such as you could request that I give you $20. Now I could say, no, I don't have to, I respectfully decline.
Right.
You can't force me to give you said $20. Not under the color of law. You could rob me of $20, right? So a request, asking somebody to do something is just that, a request. Requests don't have lawful backing behind it. So I'm curious, if I was to choose to come in, would you guys put hands on me to stop me and escort me out? Or would you let me?
Well, we would ask you not to come through here because you weren't allowed to come through here unless you followed the orders of the judge.
Right.
Okay. And after that, then we would have to call a supervisor
Okay.
who would come down here and talk to you and explain to you what the situation is. Okay. So I mean that's
So
pretty
the
much a step. So
I'm just here to.
Right. No, I'm just trying to navigate and ask questions
I
and
understand that, sir.
get understandings.
Right, we're trying to explain to you
Mm-hmm.
where our position is.
I'm sure I think people have a pretty good understanding of the position. You forfeit your rights in order to come in here. If you don't, we won't let you come in.
Just metals and electronics.
Right. Because and the idea of keeping public employees safe, right?
Yeah.
Does it really keep people safe, you think? Because to be honest, if somebody wanted to hurt anybody that worked here, all they'd have to do is wait until they left after work and catch them outside.
Yeah.
You know.
We have cameras and stuff.
Well,
so
yeah. Well, there's
hopefully-
cameras everywhere. But I mean, honestly, it doesn't really keep people safe. All it does is force people to give up constitutional rights.
If that's your opinion.
Yeah.
Well, it provides security for the employees from here, plus people that are in this building for a court or for various other things, so it provides them security too, sir.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
freedom's kind of
It
dangerous.
is a public place, so there's a lot
Right.
of people coming and going, so
Right,
it
right.
provides them security too.
Right. Well, freedom is kind of dangerous, isn't it? I mean, and the reality is, Supreme Court's already ruled.
Yeah, right.
Supreme Court's already ruled. You guys have no lawful responsibility for our safety. So if somebody was to come in here with a big gun blasting, you guys could run and hide, and you would be not in trouble for it.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that, sir.
And it happened in Uvalde. So the judge has the ability to make rules that apply outside of his courtroom.
Well, that's who set the rules up, was the circuit court judge. And those are his rules of what people have to follow.
Why not put these in front of the court then, the court door? So
Well,
you,
sir, when you walk into this next
well, what I'm saying is I don't believe he has the lawful authority to control what happens outside of the courtroom. So to be able to extend a barrier this far out of his courtroom,
Well, he can court order stuff, can he not?
you can court order stuff to apply to the courtroom.
Well, if he court orders like a petition or a PPO, that's not, like, it doesn't apply.
Yeah, but
Just in the
PPOs are directed towards usually somebody that's
Yeah,
created a
different.
victim of some kind.
Yeah.
I mean, that's different. We're talking court orders controlling people out in a public area. How far does his court order extend outside of here? Does it extend out to the sidewalk? No. I don't even think it lawfully extends outside his courtroom, personally. And I'm sure there's law that I could probably dig up, or somebody smarter than me that could dig up to
Okay.
support that. Excuse me, ma'am. Can you go through the metal detector?
She works here. I work here.
He's an employee.
So she's special?
Employees don't have to, no.
That don't seem fair.
This is to protect them.
That don't seem fair. How do we know she doesn't have a gun then? Or a weapon?
Well, I would sure hope not.
I would hope not either.
Same with
So-
this guy who's doing work for us.
So there's rules for some and not for others.
The public, they're not public.
You're right, they're public employees. And they don't have to follow the rules, clearly. I seen a thing on the news not long ago, maybe 6 months ago or so. Pretty sure it was the sheriff of the county. He was friends with the judge, right? Went in the judge's chamber, shot him dead. All on video.
Where was that?
I don't remember what state or county it was offhand. You could find it pretty easy, I'm sure.
Okay.
It's not that old. I mean,
I'm not familiar with that case.
yeah. I mean, who's the dangerous ones? You know what I mean? Disarm the people, arm the government, and arming the people who technically don't have no lawful responsibility for the public safety.
Well, life is dangerous, I guess.
Yeah, life is dangerous. Life isn't fair neither, is it? I'm wondering, truth be told, I'm here for my rights. Okay. How about, since I understand what my rights are, I be allowed to go. As far as these other people, I'm not here to stand up for their rights. That's something they should do themselves. If they're willingly giving up their rights for safety, I guess, let them. I personally don't want to. So, can I just go document without going through here and then be about my way? Sir? I'm willing to bet you're the senior here, right?
I guess, sir, you have that right to document whatever you want.
Right.
But there's certain areas you're not allowed to document.
Sure, and those.
Secure area.
Right.
Or whatever. So,
Sure.
yeah, that's within your rights to
Sure,
do that, sir.
sure.
Yeah, but you can't deny you that.
Sure, and I'm not saying that you're denying me that
Right.
right at this point.
Right.
What you're denying me, though, is access based on the willingness of me to give up my Fourth Amendment right.
It's just metals or electronics.
Right. This guy's went through a dozen times. He hasn't been
He's
checked.
working here.
I know. Rules for thee.
He's doing work for us.
Right. And this is supposed to be the court order? Is that what you say?
Yep, that's just what we go by.
State of Michigan. Judicial Circuit. Security policy. See, but this says this is a policy. This isn't a law. Are you guys policy enforcers? Or law enforcer, freedom protectors?
Oh, they didn't let me in.
That's what I wonder.
Okay.
I wish there was a water fountain up here.
Have a good day, all right?
You too.
Unlock the door without the strike.
I'll always need the button though.
Yeah, no, this door here.
Oh, I gotcha.
The worst door need people.
So you won't let me just come right through there? No?
Like on weekend visitation.
Would somebody get violent with me if I did?
There was an incident, gosh, it was a while ago. There was like toilet.
You seem too nice to be doing a job like this.
Okay.
I could be wrong. You could be really mean.
You don't know me.
You're right. I don't. I really don't. That's why I said you seem like a nice person, but you you was kind of like, huh, yeah, right. Do you think you by yourself could stop me? Hypothetically. I wouldn't want to test you because I don't want to get hurt, honestly.
Okay.
Have
Have
a
a
good
good
one.
one. Did you go through here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You went through you
Oh, yeah.
you
I
willingly
still got my rights as I'm leaving.
you willingly forfeited your Fourth Amendment right to come in here? He don't know what his rights are. He's on probation. His brain's cooked. It's probably the longest he's been sober in a while. How much do they pay you to help violate people's rights?
I don't make as much as you think.
I'm sure. Never did ask you, what's your name?
Brittany,
What's your badge number?
730.
Do you have like some ID? You know what I mean? Like, you know that.
What's your name?
Oh, good citizen.
Oh, okay. So I have to tell you my name.
I mean, you don't have to. It's a free country. You can choose not to.
No, I'll show you.
But I'm almost certain your policy would require it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
You wouldn't shoot me in the back if I just ran through there really quick, would you?
No,
I'm
but
pretty nimble for my size,
Okay.
believe it or not.
You can't come in unless you put metals or electronics.
It's kind of like Kung Fu Panda type stuff. You know, like somersaults. Interesting.
Just what we go by. I'm just doing what I'm told.
Interesting you say that. You know who else said that, right?
Who?
The Nazis.
Okay.
You remember history,
I
right?
do.
Yeah, World War II.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how much do they pay you? I mean, it's public record. I could FOIA request it. Just a roundabout. You make around 50,000 a year, 20.
I'm part time, so I
Oh,
only
so
make like $14-15 an hour.
Okay.
Hello.
Come on in, sir. We ask that you forfeit your Fourth Amendment right to illegal search and seizure.
It's new.
Well, that's what you're doing coming through here, this metal detector. You're forfeiting your right to be secure,
I'm not searching it.
just to be secure in your person's papers and effects in order to gain access to this public entity. Are you okay with that?
Well, if I gotta stop at the kids' school and dump all my stuff out, might as well do it here too. It's probably gonna be all my buttons.
Yep. You're good. And your boots.
Yeah.
Oh.
Come on in, sir. We just ask that you surrender your Fourth Amendment right to be secure in your person's papers and effects.
Yeah.
For the safety of the government, just so you know.
Right.
It's not for your safety, it's for their safety.
So, swirl around for me.
Do the hokey pokey.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, turn yourself around.
Thank you.
That's what it's all about.
And the ticket's upstairs, right?
Yep. Big window upstairs.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
You'll pay that extortion money. I noticed your guys' ADA door is out of compliance.
Open it.
That button didn't work out there. Maybe I didn't push it right. This is my chance.
That's fine.
Oh,
There you go.
nice. At least I solved one problem today.
Right, there you go.
I still haven't solved the problem of my rights being restricted, but at least I know I possibly helped somebody in a wheelchair today.
Usually I'll go hold the door for them.
That'd be the polite thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I held the door for him too.
She's nice. You have a good day, bud. Really, I'm not that good at this whole videoing thing.
Okay.
I do just kind of a lot of standing and pacing around.
Are you from the area?
I'm a Youper.
Me too.
Yeah.
Born and raised.
Well, I wasn't born. I'm a bit of a transplant, but I have family that originates from up here. So it was a natural migration.
Happens a lot up here.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone loves it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have a good one.
You too. Oh yeah.
You don't have to do it now. I just want you to know that.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah. When was that wrote? 2017.
How are you? Good. How are you?
Make sure people
Have you went over to the other courthouse yet?
maybe not.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, I've been there before.
Oh, you have?
I've been here before.
Okay.
I've been one of the fools who willingly forfeited their rights to come in, but that's because I had things that I really wanted to do. But today what I want to do is stand up for my rights. I really don't care about everybody else's. You know what I mean? It might be a little shallow, but if I'm not fighting for my rights, I sure that can't fight for somebody else's.
You too.
Thanks for your compliance. We appreciate it here. At least with all the compliance, you guys know that you have the monopoly on the use of force here.
What do you mean?
Well, if you're the only ones armed, nobody else is, that means you have a monopoly on the use of force, right?
Well, we hope no one else is armed.
That would be ashamed. Here in free America, people have their constitutional right to be armed so they can protect themselves if need be. Mind blowing.
Just not in this building.
Just not in this building. That's great. It's kind of scary. This is how rights are taken away. A little bit at a time. People are willing to. They get complacent in it. They notice they slowly fade away.
Hello. Belt, just lift up your shirt for me. Perfect.
So you can tell that's a gentleman that has been well in compliance of forfeiting rights for quite some time. He did that flawlessly.
All right.
Okay. But it's not there, Nick. You have to go to your login is. Like manage things like Johnson. But it's a weird location.
Almost done. 5 more trips. 5 more trips.
What if he has a gun this time, though?
Well, I sure hope not.
You do a lot
Hey, you don't have a gun on you, do you?
of hoping, huh?
Thank you. Tired?
Oh.
Huh? I have. They're beautiful. So I made the mistake of not wearing the ice grippers. So I would recommend doing that if you go. Yeah. Yes.
So,
But yeah, I like it.
huh?
It was fun.
Okay, where'd you get your hippies?
I think I got them from like a bait and tackle shop. I'm sure Donald would have them too.
You guys have a good rest of the day.
You too.
Thank you for your compliance, sir.
Take her easy.
Alright.
Are you in compliance, ma'am?
She works here.
Was she in compliance?
Are you in compliance?
Alert, 325 Court Street, Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
What?
What the heck?
What is that?
Everybody's secure on the floor. Yeah.
That wasn't because of me, was it?
No, you're fine.
Making sure you're secure.
Oh yeah.
Holden, you good?
No, it sounded like a phone, like someone called or something.
Hmm.
You testing buttons? You testing
You heard
buttons?
that too?
No. Wasn't me.
That's what the one-armed man said. Well, I mean, it can't be that big of a deal because whoever came in here and whoever that possibly could be, if anybody, we know they're not armed. So it really couldn't be that big of a deal, right?
Have a good day.
You too.
How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good.
They are working on the audit.
Amendment.
How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. I'd be doing better if I didn't have to forfeit my Fourth Amendment right to come into a public area. Is there anything we can do about that possibly? You guys seem like look like you're pretty high on the food chain.
Talk to the judge.
The judge has the capability to make rules outside of his courtroom. No comment? Dang. Silence and ignorance is the practice of government, I've noticed. Because all you got to do is pretend you don't know and keep your mouth shut. That's that Fifth Amendment, the right to remain silent. You know what I mean? That pesky right, you know. Works both ways.
Yep.
So nobody's going to let me come in without going through this thing.
Yep, just metals or electronics.
Aren't these things known to cause cancer?
I sure hope not.
Don't they have like one of those nuclear warning stickers or somewhere on them? You should get real close to it and find out.
I don't see any. I went through them, but yeah, I don't see any.
Yeah, they'd probably remove them anyways. They wouldn't want people to know.
Will you notify it's okay?
Huh?
Will you notify it's okay?
What's okay? The alarms
Anyway.
and stuff?
How's it going? You didn't even want to say hi.
Say hi.
What's an auditor? I heard you say this auditor word a couple
I just
times.
see it on TikTok.
Oh, you watch TikTok, huh?
Oh, yeah.
You're brainwashed with the TikTok. So TikTokers are auditors.
No, that's just what they call them.
Oh.
I don't know.
You never looked it up to see what an auditor was?
No.
Oh, probably should. I mean, if you're going to want to put somebody in a classification of something, you know what I mean? Today, I'm just an American trying to protect my Fourth Amendment right today. And I've apparently failed miserably because I can't get past this checkpoint without getting hurt. If I don't forfeit my property to being searched.
Just metals or electronics.
Right. How far are you willing to take it if I'm willing to go?
I just tell someone to come help.
You would just be like, come get him. I'm a girl. I can't do it. Just you guys come deal with it.
I'm not gonna fight you. I'm just gonna ask you to not come
I wouldn't fight you neither. I wouldn't fight you neither. I already know I'm outnumbered here. I'm outnumbered. I'm outweaponed. You know.
Brittany.
Yeah.
It's against company policy for us to carry. So. we
There
can't
you
carry.
go.
Also, I'm not 21, so I can't have a CPL yet.
Right.
So.
Yep. He's a youngster.
Yep. Younger than me.
You look pretty young.
I know. I get it all the time.
I would guess like 25,
Nope. Usually I get 18. That's a surprise.
18. No. Too mature for 18.
Okay.
Do you ever read the Constitution?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. Did you have to swear an oath to the Constitution in order?
I did.
And you've never read it.
Not the full thing, no.
Doesn't that seem odd? I mean, you swear an oath to protect people's freedoms and rights by swearing an oath to this Constitution, yet you've never read it. So how do you know what you're supposed to protect?
It's freedom.
It's freedom. Not knowing what you should protect is freedom. Okay.
I mean, there's the Bill of Rights, so.
Right. But I mean, do you know the 5 elements of even the First Amendment?
What is it?
You don't know?
What is it?
I'm asking you.
You can tell me.
Oh, I could tell you. You're right. I'm curious if you know it, though. Because, I mean, you are the one that's armed in charge of protecting my rights and freedoms.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. That'd be like me taking my car to a mechanic who doesn't know what a spark plug is.
Right.
So I'm sure you have a good idea of what they are.
Sure.
Could I mean, do you?
Yep.
Could you at least tell me like 2 elements of the 5?
Nope.
No. You can, or you just choose not to.
I'm just not going to.
You could see how I could find that concerning, right? Or anybody maybe
Okay.
who depends on you, right? Because some people do depend on you, and they believe that, you know, there are some people who do that. You could Google them.
Sure.
I'm guessing I'm not going to get past this checkpoint without giving my stuff up, am I?
Correct.
And if I do, and if I do try to go through, there is somebody here that's willing to hurt me to stop me, right?
Probably not hurt ya.
Well, if I wasn't willingly to leave, how would somebody get me out without hurting me?
Just
I mean, you'd have to put hands on somebody, right?
Yeah, but you wouldn't have to hurt them.
I suppose if somebody was not willing to resist, right? But what if, let's say I was willing to resist and,
Have a good
you
one.
know, stand up for my rights and, you know, defend myself even. Because this is a stand your ground state, right? People have the right to defend themselves.
Yep.
I mean, so technically, if a law enforcement person touched me unlawfully, I would have the lawful right to defend myself,
Okay.
even against them.
Yeah.
Now, whether I'd win that in the end, that'd be debated. I'd probably either end up dead or definitely beat up, you know, but I mean, everybody has the right to defend themselves.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's kind of the idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody would get violent with me, right? I'm guessing. I mean, mostly anything law enforcement does come with the implication of violence if you don't do what they're told, right?
I wouldn't say that.
You right?
Sure.
Okay. Whoa,
Hey, how's it going?
not too bad. How you doing?
Not bad, not bad. You remember that like Looney Tunes cartoon where the coyote and the sheepdog would change spots, like shift change for
Yeah.
lunch and stuff?
Pretty much.
That's kind of neat.
Yep. Okay.
You have a good day. Enjoy your lunch.
Thank you.
Wish the best for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, I think I saw that not too long ago.
Yeah, those good old days, huh?
No. No. I just check and see if Brittany needed a break.
Oh, just coming down.
Yeah, I think she's probably burnt out on me by now. I talk a lot sometimes.
That's all right. Nothing wrong with that.
A lot of questions. Maybe I can ask you guys some of the same questions.
Can't ask me, I'm done for the day.
Well, you have the right to choose to answer or not answer, right? Or disengage. I mean, this is a consensual encounter. So,
Okay.
Nothing, we're still next week.
Last I knew, I just came over here 5-10 minutes ago. But I think his court hearing's on.
Well,
I know they were looking for somebody for a transport.
roads are pretty crappy out there today.
They are.
There was freezing rain in spots.
Was it?
Yeah. Yep.
Where'd you come in from?
Newberry area. Yeah.
Drove through there on Tuesday.
Yep.
On my way to Marquette.
You'll mark that. So, I've been informed in order to come beyond this checkpoint, I have to give up my property for search to go through the metal detector to make sure I don't have weapons, right?
Okay.
Is that a fair understanding?
You just have to, so kind of like a checkpoint in the airport, you just have to put it in there, you get it right back after you come
Right.
through.
Oh, I understand that. Yep, I understand that.
Yep.
But what my conundrum is according to the Constitution and the Fourth Amendment, I have the right to be secure in my person's papers and effects, not to be searched without me being suspected of a crime or without a warrant.
Okay.
So, keeping somebody out of a public area without being searched is technically a violation of their Fourth Amendment right. I mean, I don't have to be searched to be on the sidewalk, right? I don't have to be searched to be in a post office,
Right.
you know.
Well, I think that would be a question if you really want to understand why they did that. You would have to talk to the probably the judges that determined that that was going to be the
Right.
their reasoning behind it, and I believe some of it is in response to, unfortunately, bad things that have happened in courthouses. You know, it's,
I've noticed a dramatic difference since since the whole 9/11 incident. That's when I started to notice a change.
So I've only worked here 4 years.
Right.
Okay, so I don't know exactly when. I think it's actually.
And I'm not saying for this place in general. I'm just saying for courthouses all around
Right.
Michigan that I've been to over my time, life experience. That's when I noticed these popping up a lot in courthouses.
I think that, and I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the 100% history of it.
Right.
I know that some of it was a response to something that happened in a courthouse downstate. I believe
Yeah.
is what how it was explained to me why. I can't tell you how long it's been in place in Chippewa County because I've only been here for 4 years.
Right. But you see how you can see how this is a Fourth Amendment violation.
Well, I'm not going to agree to that. I'm going to say I understand why it's here. I understand why some people don't like it, but I mean, you go to the airport,
This isn't an airport though.
right?
This is a public. I mean, airports are public places too, but this is
Say,
you know.
Metro airport's run by the county down there.
Right.
I mean, it's, you know,
From my understanding, this is a judge's order that puts this here.
and that's very well could be. It could have been local judges, it could have been.
So you don't know that this is supposed to be the judge's order, from my understanding. But see, this is security policy.
Right.
Okay.
So the 50th Judicial Court put it in place.
Right.
And it's signed by the chief judge and then the other
Right,
judge of
but
the
you could
county.
understand how policy, right, is not law.
I understand what you're saying. I'm not going to get
I mean,
into
you're
an
not.
argument with
No,
you.
this isn't an argument. This is just two grown men, Americans, having a discussion. You're the one with all the weapons, being paid by tax dollars, and I'm just the guy trying to stand up for his rights right now.
I understand that, and I'm not against I'm not against the Constitution
No.
or anything like that, but I'm also not a constitutional scholar. And I'm not
Oh,
gonna
neither
argue
am I.
things
Neither am
that
I. I'm an
don't
idiot.
know 100% for sure.
I'm an idiot. Truth be told, I'm dyslexic and I only have a GED. But I have some common sense.
I understand that. Like, I could argue with you now that yes, it is snowing.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm not going to get into a legal argument with you.
No, this isn't a legal argument. So, but what I'm getting at is you swear an oath to the Constitution to defend and protect people's rights and freedoms.
Yes.
But here we are at a checkpoint that restricts my Fourth Amendment right to be secure in my person's papers and effects. I don't personally want the government to know what I'm carrying on me because I personally feel like it ain't none of their freaking business. Because in the end, we have the right to bear arms. We have the right to stand our ground and protect ourselves. So what I see is a checkpoint that allows only government to be secure and the people not to be secure. Because Supreme Court's also ruled that law enforcement has no duty to protect the people. You could, if something bad is going down, you could run and hide. Nobody could hold you responsible for it because officer safety above all. You must go home, fuck everybody else, right?
Well, from my personal opinion, I don't feel that way.
I believe
would
that.
have to do.
I believe that.
So,
I believe that.
I mean,
I'm not saying all officers are like that,
Right, no,
but when
I
it comes down to the cold hard truth,
right.
that's what it is. If you didn't want to and you felt it was too dangerous for you and you'd rather make sure you got home to your kids, you could be like, fuck that dude, I'm out of here, somebody else can come deal with it. And nobody can hold you responsible for that, right? If I was in need of protection.
I think there would be, I think that maybe not criminally, but maybe civilly, there would be some negligence.
Maybe that's if qualified immunity didn't protect you.
Right. Well, that seems to have changed over the years. So,
I personally believe law enforcement should have to insure themselves like doctors and pharmacists do, because then they would be a heck of a lot less likely to violate people's rights intentionally because they themselves would be held responsible financially for the repercussion of doing so. But we pay for it. You guys get qualified immunity and you guys pretty much get to do whatever you want short of, a few bad things. And even some places, law enforcement still get away with these bad things.
well, it's unfortunate if they do. I mean, that's not how I would view it, but I mean, you're certainly entitled to
Right.
view it. And
Right. I seen a video not long ago. A judge in a courthouse in a different state, and this is down south. I can't remember the name of it offhand. Anyways, the sheriff, they all work in the same building. Sheriff went up to the judge's chamber, shot him dead in his chamber. Why, we don't know. I mean, let's be honest, they're only going to give out so much information.
right, yeah,
You know?
I think I saw that on the news. I never heard the end.
So I
of it,
mean,
so.
yeah. So I mean, who's really the dangerous ones? I don't think it's really the people. You know what I mean? Let me ask you this. Let's say I don't want to forfeit my right to be secure in my property and stuff, and I just wanted to go around. Would you physically stop me, hypothetically?
I would probably call for my supervisor and we would try and have a discussion about it and then but you know, I'm one person here right now.
Right,
I'm not
right.
gonna-
I'm not gonna test your buttons. I mean, I'm not gonna test you on that, so don't worry about
I
that.
mean, I mean,
I just
that's
curious.
That's your choice. I mean,
Right.
those things happen, then we deal with it how we, you know, like I say, I would be calling my supervisors who are down the hall and
You call for
see what-
backup.
You know, and they would come down and we would deal with it from there, and we would do what we have to do.
Right. Let's say
You know,
I didn't
mean-
want to leave though. Would you guys physically force me to leave, or arrest me, or you know what I'm saying?
As long as the building is open for business, you can, you know, as long as you pass the checkpoint, you can be in the building. You can't-
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been in here before.
Yeah, I mean,
I understand that, but my point is the whole Fourth Amendment issue. I don't want to be searched by the metal detector that the government owns, because that's what that is doing, searching me. You know what I'm saying?
well, it's checking you for metal. is
It's a
what
search.
saying, yeah.
It's a search.
Excuse me one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
91st. Nope. Nope. All right. Yeah, bye. Hey, I'm giving Brittany a break. All right, wait. Just let my other partner know what I'm doing. So I was
Alright.
giving her a break. So you live over in Newberry for
Over in that area.
yeah. So my great uncle would have been my dad's uncle. You know where the logging museum is, just north of town, and
Yep.
then across the bridge
Yep.
on that side, on that one side, was my great uncle's sawmill.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, so you're back. Okay.
Yeah, my family were old lumberjacks back in the days.
Okay.
Yep, my family's up here long enough for that.
Well, I'm originally from southeast Michigan. So.
Well, I grew up downstate. You know, my great grandparents and grandparents, they're all born and raised, you know what I mean, immigrated, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
My grandpa's dad was from Poland, from my understanding.
Oh, wow.
You know, stuff like
Well,
that.
that's cool. So what, if you don't mind me asking, what part of downstate were you from?
Down in the Monroe County areas where I grew up.
Me too.
Yep.
Where at?
Dundee.
I grew up in Ida.
Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Ah.
used to play you guys in high school football.
Yeah, shut up. That's
Yeah.
good stuff.
I moved away before Cabela's went in.
Yeah.
It probably saved me thousands of dollars.
Yeah. I remember when there
sure.
was nothing over there but an old tire shop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can remember going up. We used to go to Salmon Lake, Wampus Lake, all that.
Yeah. Yeah. Heath Beach.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Small world.
it is. It's crazy.
Yeah.
How long you been up here?
14 years.
Okay, I've been up here 30 years. That's
Yeah.
how long I've been up here.
14 years.
Uh-oh, what you do? Yep. See it?
Justin.
There you go.
I've been coming up here all my life as a kid, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? But I made the move 14 years ago.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I had volunteer fire department for a while.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Small world.
yeah, I came up here to go to college and never left.
I was class of 99.
Yeah, I was a class of 87. So I got you by a few years, buddy. A few years. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, I just moved my parents up here probably about 7 years ago. So.
Yeah, my mom lives up here. My grandparents have passed. My only uncle that was up here's passed. So
sorry
that's
to
my
hear that.
mom, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my brother lives up here with us. And my son, he's graduated and he's moved downstate.
Okay.
Does college and stuff.
Yeah. Well, good for him.
Well.
Good. Yeah, that's crazy. Dundee.
Yeah, good old Dundee. Yeah. Go Vikings.
Yeah, the Ida Blue Streaks.
Mm-hmm. Had a girl who wanted me to move down there to Ida with her. She got a place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, when I was in school, football coach and the assistant coach, both of them passed away within a week of each other. It's kind of crazy.
Yep. Cycle of life.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I think I've been here long enough. I think I've come to the conclusion I'm definitely not going to get through here without being searched or hurt.
Well, I don't think we're going to hurt you.
Well, I mean, if I refuse to go through there and just walk through, you would surely stop me. And the only way you could do that would be by putting hands on somebody.
Well, that's not too bad.
And I guess
You seem like a nice guy.
and I
wouldn't
guess,
wanna do
well,
that.
I'm sure you wouldn't. And I guess me getting hurt would be depending on how much I'd be willing to resist. You know.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would hope. Come on. We were rivals in high school, but we don't have to be rivals now. man. Come on. Hey, I appreciate it. And I'm all for
Well,
the Constitution. I'm all for the Second Amendment. I'm all for the First Amendment.
Well, you know, I'm here to document the issue, and the issue is we have to give up rights for security when really you have no lawful duty to keep us secure. There's kind of like a bunch. You see, it makes no sense in my mind.
I understand.
I would be-
I understand what you're saying about the lawful duty,
Right.
but you know,
You have a moral duty.
For a moral duty,
And-
we need to take care of everyone.
Right, I agree.
I mean, even those people we don't agree with. you
But
know,
right, but when dealing with public and government workers, the only thing that truly matters is what's clear cut in law. You know, so our morals don't mean shit to each other. Because, you know, I've come to learn that law enforcement, with the training they get, they are trained, paid liars and manipulators. And circuit court has actually made it lawful for law enforcement to lie in order to make somebody else a criminal.
well, I wouldn't agree with that, but
Every-
I understand I understand what you're saying, and I hear you. And
Maybe there's a better way to articulate that,
Yeah, I
but
understand, you know, fair enough.
And there's a reason we have the right to remain silent.
Right.
It's to protect us from government. Because anything you say or do can and will be used. It's not can, maybe, might, you know what I mean? It's can and
I
will.
totally get it. And trust me, over my career, and there are a lot of times where it's like, you know,
You've had conflicts of morals
I've told
duty.
people, hey guys, it's a good idea. Don't say any more. Just, you know,
Just comply.
no, not comply, but don't say any more.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
you implicate
Right,
yourself in
right.
something.
Right, right. Okay,
And
I
I've
got
even
you.
I've even heard the judge say that.
Oh,
Don't
yeah,
say
yeah.
something you don't.
Yeah, people
so you
don't get it.
implicate yourself. So I mean,
People don't understand you can't talk your way out of a trouble once you're in trouble with government. The only thing you can do is dig a deeper hole.
sometimes, yeah. Some people dig with a backhoe, some people don't.
Right.
It's like children when they're in trouble.
Right.
Some children. I have a daughter who digs with a backhoe every
Right.
time. You know, it doesn't matter.
I've got a backhoe and a shovel, so.
Okay. Well, fair enough. But I mean, I understand what you're saying and what you're doing, and I mean, you know, it's just, my
Here's
goal is to make sure everybody stays safe.
right.
That's it.
Here's my concern is even this being a judge policy, it's just that it's policy, not law, and I don't believe judges' policies can extend outside their courtroom. That's another thing that concerns me.
You know, that would be a question for the.
Because I
the
can't
judges and the
video,
legal-
I can't video in a judge's courtroom without their permission and all these other things. That's because they have control of what goes on inside a courtroom.
Right.
Once you let them start controlling what's outside of that courtroom, at what point does that line get drawn? Is it today? It's drawn at the front door clearly.
I
And
understand what you're saying. Well, I mean, that would be. I mean, I don't know.
and really the only way I could fix it or attempt to test it would come through, not go through this, kind of force my way in, so to say, and go through the process of what happens from that. And then try to determine was it lawful or unlawful on whose behalf.
Well,
You know what I
another thing
mean?
you could try. I mean, it's just a suggestion on my part. But another thing you could try is write and ask them. What gives you that authority? And maybe
I-
they can cite it for you.
Oh, I'm sure he could whip up something that sounded really smart that I probably wouldn't understand that would magically grant this guy the authority to do what he's doing. But I'm of the opinion, what really gives another human being authority over another human being?
Well, I guess that would be a
You know,
question.
so you start asking these layers of questions, and
Excuse me, can we, yeah, thank you.
you start asking these layers of questions because each answer, in my mind, a lot of times comes up with another question. Because you got to get to the root of things sometimes, you know.
Well, but if you ask them to cite maybe the law or the case which
Well,
they're
that-
basing it on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There is no law attached to this. You can see it all here. There's no, you know what I
I
mean?
understand what you're saying. That's why I'm saying this. You can ask me all day long. I can't answer that for you. You want to talk to that person and
Now,
Judge Blueball.
I believe that there may be laws that prohibit people from bringing firearms in here. I believe there may be a law. I'd have to do my own research. So I can't remember
What does-
everything.
Can we just step out here for a second?
All right.
I think there's a sign up here, and
Yeah, there's this sign here.
be a metal one that.
Yeah, and there's not even a statue attached to that sign.
Right,
Anybody?
no, I understand
You know?
that. There was one, and it might be upstairs right outside the courtroom that cites something, but I can't remember off the top of my head what it is. And I'm not, I'm not, and I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to push out the
No,
ball. I was
no,
actually
no.
looking for the sign.
No, I knew
so-
what you was looking for.
yeah,
I know.
So, I'm not,
Here's another one down here. I don't
Oh,
know.
that's probably it. Does it cite anything? Excuse me.
Prohibited items list,
Okay, maybe not.
but there's still no statute attached to it. I mean,
Yeah,
technically, you could put a
that's
sign
what
up
I
that
was-
said "No black people," you know, and
I hear what you're saying. I totally hear what you're saying, and I guess the best answer I can give you at this point, from my perspective, is, and I'm not trying to push you out or anything.
oh, I know
like
you're
that.
not. I don't get the sense
Oh.
that you are.
I would, contact the judge's office and ask them, hey, can you give me the case law or the legal basis of why this is allowed?
Right.
And then if you think of other questions, I mean,
And then I'd have to gamble on his willingness to comply with my request. You know, I could go for your request these questions. Let's be honest.
Right.
I already
I
know.
understand
You know what
that.
I'm saying? I get that. But from what I see nothing that lawfully prohibits me from going beyond that point without being searched, other than somebody that's willing to prevent me from doing so. And they're, you know what I'm saying? So,
I think the intention is to keep everyone safe.
yeah, we know what the intention is. Yeah, it's the idea of keeping people safe, mainly the people that work here. Okay, and I get that, but in the end, we're giving up rights and freedoms for presumed safety. That's not a fair
Right.
trade.
I can't argue that point one way or the other with you.
All right.
I mean,
I mean, the sheriff's department's in here. The sheriff's clearly okay with this rights violation. And he is the man that is in charge of protecting people's rights here in this county, right?
well, in the county, yes, he's the elected official for that.
He's the head honcho of protecting people's rights in this
So
county.
that would be another person you could either write to or ask to meet with and say, hey,
Right.
what's the basis of why you're doing this? And he could certainly get that for you.
Right, yeah.
And so, or if it's totally up to you if you want. I mean, I can ask the sheriff to contact you.
No, I don't want to give them no contact information.
Okay.
You know.
That's
I
cool.
I understand the temptation to use information to research people that you really have no lawful right to research for. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I already know how that stuff goes. I mean, when you give government your information, they have the ability to find everything out on you, whether they have the lawful authority to do so at the time or not. And that would be a Fourth Amendment rights violation as well.
I understand that, but, you know, the other side of it is, unfortunately, people nowadays put everything out on Facebook and everything else.
Oh, I agree. I agree. But see, here's the
Don't
thing.
keep themselves safe.
Right, but our rights weren't made to protect us from each other.
Right, no,
Our
I
rights
understand.
were made to divide that line between the public and the servant.
Yeah. I
You
understand
know,
that.
and
I
to
get it.
keep the servant from stepping over certain boundaries, protecting the public. So I can't violate another public person's rights. I'm not a government entity.
Right.
I can be an asshole and hurt people and break
Right.
laws.
Right, I understand, you understand what I'm saying, though, is information, once it's out there, it's out there.
Right,
unfortunately.
right. Well, I ask him to have this dialogue, of course, for my video here because I'm here to gather information and disseminate it to the public.
So, when I worked for another agency, I was asked to come in and talk to them about cyber safeness.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened to be for a girls' basketball team. I did 3 searches, 2 players and 1 coach. Just on Facebook and I think Instagram were the only 2 I used. I knew things about them as a 50-year-old man, I shouldn't have known.
Right, right.
But it wasn't hard once I got their names, where they went to high school, all the way back.
And that's
And that's what the scary thing, and I get what you're saying.
and that
That's
just
scary.
proves the fact even more that we need to learn to be more secure in these
Right. Yeah,
information.
yeah. I
You
mean, it's
know,
unfortunate
not
people
just
put
from
that out.
social media, but also from government.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
mean, it's, anybody who has nefarious intent can do a lot of scary, scary things.
Well, that's it.
unfortunately.
You know what I mean? And we can't. I don't think we should be operating this place on the possibility somebody might do something. I mean, a comet may fall out of the sky and take this whole building out, but you know, what's really the odds? Like I said, if somebody really wanted to hurt somebody in here, they wouldn't come through this checkpoint. You know what I mean?
Well, I understand what you're saying, but, you know, they've
No.
made a determination that they're trying to make it secure so people are safe, and that's, I think, where we're at right now. And to answer your questions again, the best thing would be to, contact the court staff so that they can get a message to the judge, or,
To wrap this video up for me, I just got one final question that I want to kind of like get a perfect understanding of.
well, I can't promise that.
Yeah. Oh, well, let's attempt to get there. Okay.
Like you said,
Right. A perfect understanding as we understand it ourselves here at this moment. How about that? So, I've asked before, let's say I'm not willing to comply with allowing my being magnetized, and I just go through. And if I was to do that, would you physically stop me yourself? Or if somebody gave you the order to physically stop me, would you physically stop me yourself by any means necessary?
I would ask you to comply with what we were doing. I mean, there's a lot of steps to it. I mean,
Right,
depending
but
on
let's
how you
pretend
react.
all them
You-
steps are exaggerated already. I'm not willing to comply to forfeiting rights, and I'm going to choose to do what I want instead because I am a free American. And I choose to go in and document. Would you be willing to use physical harm or means by any means necessary to prevent me from doing that?
I think we're gonna exhaust every possibility of trying to talk to you. I mean, I can't,
Right.
every situation is different, and body language tells us a lot.
Right, right. Well, I mean, I could change it at any moment. I could just,
I know you
I
could.
mean, I could.
You certainly can.
and I'm necessarily not afraid to do so. Don't get me wrong, because I understand this is going to be a progression of escalation to get to certain points. You don't want to harm me. I surely don't want to harm you. but I'm sure I can make it at least 2 steps past that magnetometer on this side before somebody at least put their hands on me.
Huh?
Larry wants to know when you're done.
Tell them about 10 minutes.
Okay.
I'm just about done. I'm gonna get out of here in a minute.
Well, you know, maybe one of the things that we've lost over time, just as human beings, is the ability to talk. You and I have had a decent conversation,
Right.
I think.
Right.
Well, I mean, I still don't know who you are, so it's not like I can check you out or anything.
Right,
I mean,
right.
I know that the 2 big things I know about you is 1999, you left Dundee, Michigan, and I grew up in Ida, Michigan.
Right,
okay?
right, right.
You know, I'm not, and just how small of a world it is, you know. You seem like a very decent person. I hope you think I'm a decent person.
You've been a decent person. You haven't done anything to physically hurt me, so that's a win.
Yeah.
You
And
know.
I would hope that I wouldn't just by having a conversation.
Right.
you
No,
know.
I don't.
I think that it's a lost art, people just being able to have a civil conversation.
And don't get me wrong, I have my moments where I can't have a civil conversation and I
probably
lose
do too,
control,
you
you
know.
know, I'm human. But I definitely come into a situation like this with the intent of staying civil because I have a clear understanding of what law enforcement is willing and capable of doing to me. You know what I mean? And I'm not here to get hurt, you know.
Well, and I didn't come into this job wanting to hurt people, and so, I mean, that's not, I don't think I've met anybody in my career that was their goal, you know. I think most people go into any career they do because they have a passion for it. You know, I don't even know what you do,
Right.
you know, other than this here. I mean, I don't know what you do for a living or anything like that, but there must have been some kind of interest in it, and that's why you did it. Or, you know, an example, my son-in-law, he doesn't really care for the job he has, but he views it as an ends to a means to support his family.
Right, right.
There was a reason for it. And so, I mean, I don't know, you know, I can't say, you know, anything bad about, you know, our interaction here. I mean, it's been a very interesting conversation. I can't say that, you know, it hasn't maybe changed my mind about what I have to do maybe per se, or how I would handle it, but you're not presenting as an aggressive person either.
No, I'm not here to be
You're
aggressive.
cordial, you're polite, and so hopefully I've been cordial and polite
Oh
to
yeah,
you.
no, this has been a great encounter.
And,
Other than
you
the
know,
fact of the rights violations, but you know.
and again, we may differ on that a little
Right.
bit, but, you know, it's, you know, I mean, really the big thing is just, you know, right now is, you know, me personally, I just wanna have a safe encounter with people that
Right.
I meet, and I appreciate that, and, you know, it is unfortunate. I mean, I have been here when people have gone through with things they shouldn't have to get into the
Well, I
courthouse.
mean-
It happens.
Well, who's to say who should have what?
Knowing the reason that they were here, you know, so.
A lot of people, especially in this area, carry knives.
Yeah.
Knives are a popular thing.
Yeah, and
You
I get it.
know,
I mean,
this is an open carry state. We have constitutional carry.
yeah,
You know, but here we
understand
are disarming people at the first opportunity we can.
that.
And I don't think it's a lawful disarmament right here at this checkpoint unless people are willingly to give those items up or not bring them, or, you know what I'm saying?
Like I say, that's a question for the judges and why they put that in this.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, I don't believe that the judge has authority outside his courtroom.
Well, and that would be a question for them, so, I mean, I don't know the case law, and I don't wanna cite something incorrectly to you.
Right.
I would rather you get the information you're looking for and have the correct information, and then you can make a determination from there.
Well, that, if he could, he would be able to stop me from videoing out in this public area by putting up a decree, or whatever you wanna call it, you know what I'm saying? But he can't do that.
Right.
He can only do that within the courtroom. Checkpoint should be at his door.
Again, that would be the
I know.
question for them.
I
So,
know.
I can't, you know, like I say, I can't give you 100% a definitive
Right,
answer
I know.
that you're looking for.
I know.
As much as I might like to, I can't, and I don't want you to, walk away frustrated with me because I can't do that.
Right, I know.
How we doing, boss?
How you doing? Excuse me.
So I mean, it's all what it is. Hey, how's it
Right.
going, buddy?
Maybe I'm gonna get out of here. I think I definitely know I'm not gonna get past that point without getting hurt or forfeiting rights. That I'm sure of, because that's just the way it is. I understand this. My one concern is though is this trash can out here completely full. People been putting cigarette butts on the damn thing.
Okay,
It's a fire hazard.
All right, I'll let maintenance know.
Yeah, it looks bad.
I will let them know.
Yeah,
So, all right, sir. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you.
it was.
And my name's Kevin, by the way. I know you're not gonna tell me your name.
Michael.
It's okay. Michael.
Yep.
It's nice to meet you, Michael. Even though you're from Dundee.
It is what it is.
Isn't it Christmas and Ida crazy?
Yeah, yeah.
I watched some of the video. So here's how far back I go. I was at the first one.
Oh, really?
Marching in the band in Christmas and Ida.
Really.
So that's how far back I go from Ida.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah. It's been a lot of years there. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, bud.
You
Well,
take care. Travel safe out there today. The
Yeah,
roads
we
are
did.
getting kind of bad. So.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. There ain't nothing we're going to be able to do about it here today. I know that. But,
All right. Sorry
right.
I couldn't answer your questions.
no, I already kind of knew what the answers are going to be to this kind of stuff. I'm not new to it, you know what I mean? I'm just here to document and show people,
Okay.
and maybe some more like-minded or other people can see what's wrong with this. It's because of our complacency that this stuff is happening over time. It's a social norm now, you know what I mean? And that's how rights are taken over time.
Well, I could probably say that is a fair enough assessment from what you're seeing and what
Right.
you're telling me. So,
All
I mean,
right.
I can understand where you would come to that conclusion. Again, I'm not 100% going to agree with it, but I mean, I understand what you're coming to
Right.
that conclusion.
Well, you're also in a position right now that you can't give a solid opinion. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, we all have opinions. We're all human.
Right.
My wife tells me most of mine are wrong.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you travel safe, Michael.
All
It was
right,
a joy
bud.
talking.
Yeah, you have a good day.
Have a good one.
Well, there you have it. I talked to them people for better part of an hour. There was no way they were going to let me in there. We already knew that. So, but that's how we lose rights. And they're willing to go along with it. And there ain't nothing we can do unless we're willing to use force against them. And if we use force, we know what happens from that. We get hurt. None of us want to get hurt. So what do? We comply. Maybe we do what I did. We don't play their games and just refuse to go in. What if we all refuse to stop coming in here because of that checkpoint, and business wouldn't happen because nobody would come in? Well, then you'd say, oh, everybody would end up in jail. Well, the jails would be so full they wouldn't be able to keep people in them. So, I mean, there's a big snowball of all this, literally snowball of all this. And quite frankly, I don't see anything that we can truly do about it. I attempted to stand up for my rights today. And you folks are going to have to stand up for yours. And with that, Big Mike's out. Peace.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanity.